Sonny lives on a farm on a wide open space. You could take off your sneakers, you could give up the race. You could lay down your head by a soft riverbed, but Sonny always remembers what it was his mommy said. Sonny, don't go away, I am here all alone, and your daddy's a sailor who never comes home. And the nights get so long, and the silence goes on, and I'm feeling so tired, I'm not all that strong. Oh, Sonny carries a load, he is very, and there isn't all that to do, but still he does what he can, and he watches the sea from a room by the stairs, and the waves keep on rolling, they've done that for years. Oh, Sonny, don't go away, I am here all alone, and your daddy's a sailor who never comes home, and the nights get so long, and the silence goes on, and I'm feeling so tired, I'm not all that strong. And it's 100 miles to town, Sonny's never been there, and he goes to the highway, and he stands there and he stares, and the nail comes at 4, and the man is old, and he still dreams his dreams full of silver and gold. Oh, Sonny, don't go away, I am here all alone, and your daddy's a sailor who never comes home, and the nights get so long, and the silence goes on, and I'm feeling so tired, I'm not all that strong. Oh, Sonny, don't go away, I am here all alone, and your daddy's a sailor who never comes home, and the nights get so long, and the silence grows on, and I'm feeling so tired, I'm not all that strong.
That song, Sonny's Dream, was written by Ron Hines of the Wonderful Grand Band. And I think it's about time that we introduced our special guest for this evening, a wonderful grand band, the Wonderful Grand Band.
Wonderful Grand Band, Made in France, take 1, rolling and recording.
Sandy Morris here is leader of the wonderful Grand Band and has been for years involved with the musical scene in Newfoundland. Sandy, how did you get involved with the wonderful Grand Band?
Well, Dennis, I was playing around Newfoundland, I guess, for 10 or 15 years, playing different kinds of music. And I suppose I must have played every kind of music except land music. And after hearing a few of the English and Irish rock folk groups like Steel Eye Span, I guess, and Fairport Convention, I thought that the Newfoundland music would be really well adapted to the same type of thing, you know. So I called up a few of the boys that I happened to know were into the same thing, and there was a TV series available for a Newfoundland type of group, so we got together.
Who are the wonderful Grand Band?
Well, there's a dirty big crowd of us, brothers. Kelly Russell plays the fiddle with us. He's been traveling around Newfoundland and gathering up old fiddle tunes and traditional old jigs and reels and whatnot from fiddlers. And there's Glenn Simmons, who sings vocals, harmonies and lead vocals, and plays guitar as well. And in the rhythm section, we've got Brian Hennessy on bass and Rocky Wiseman on drums. Rocky's probably the oldest, not the oldest drummer, but he's probably been playing for longer than any other drummer in Newfoundland. And then last, but not least, of course, is Ron Hines, who writes most of our songs, our original material, and he's our lead singer as well.
How do you think the old-timers feel about the rocked-up version of Newfoundland traditional tunes?
Well, they seem to love it, you know. We played him for Emile. He played with us, in fact, on stage one night, and he got a really big charge out of that. And it's the same sort of energy, really, the same sort of drive, although we just put the bass and drums behind it to give it that sort of rock kick, you know.
Of course, the young people are really...
Oh, the young people seem to get off on it, too, yeah.
Well, that's great. What have you got next for us?
Well, our next song is going to be Hard, Hard Times. I think we're going to get Ron to sing that for us tonight.
Come on, ye good people, I'll sing you a song about the poor people, how they get along. They fish in the spring, finish up in the fall, and when it's all over, they've nothing at all. Go out in the morning, the wind it will sing, and it's over the side, you will hear the line ring. Out flows her and freeze with the cold, and as two for starts and all gone in the hole. And it's hard, hard times. Poor fishermen, we've been out all of the day, come in the evening, full sail up the bay. Find Kate in the corner with a wink and a nod, saying, Jimmy or John, have you got any cod? And next comes the merchant to see your supply, and the fine side of fishing you'll see by and by. $7 for large, $4.50 for small. Pick out your West Indian, nothing at all. And it's hard, hard times. Here we go. Claims he can build you a house. He'll build it so snug you will scarce find a mouse. With holes in the roof and the rain it will pour, and the chimney will smoke, and it's open the door, open the door. And then next comes the doctor, the worst of them all, saying what's been the matter with you all the fall. He says he can cure you of all your disease. When your money's all gone, you can die if you please. The best thing to do is to work with a will, for when it's all over, you're hauled on the hill. You're hauled on the hill and put down in the cold. You're dead and raving, you're still in the hole. And it's hard, hard times. And it's hard.
That was a traditional Newfoundland song, Hard Times, sung by Ron Hines and the wonderful Grand Band. Ron, what are the influences on yourself and the wonderful Grand Band?
Well, I guess it's probably obvious in the song that it's a very contemporary influence, mostly because of you know, the original writing that I'm doing for the band and that Brian Hennessy does. And you know, in most of our arrangements, we'll sit down with the band and we'll try and work it out so that everybody has an input into it, you know. So it has a very contemporary sound in that sense. But you know, the song is a traditional song, and there's probably a lot of traditional influence in the band. Mostly probably his influence is playing with Figgy Duff, and you know, he's very much a great lover of Irish music and Newfoundland music, you know. So he brings a lot of that influence into it.
Were you interested as a kid growing up in traditional Newfoundland songs?
Not really as such. No, I was just interested in singing. Mostly I was interested in being a songwriter. I thought it was just like the most marvelous thing in the world to do, to be able to like create a song, right, that would just stand by itself and would say something. I think my earliest influence in life was probably El Paso. I remember hearing El Paso, and I thought, what a marvelous thing to be able to do, to like tell a story in a song, and I think I wanted to do that ever since, you know. I was only yay high then.
Have your own songs been influenced by growing up in Newfoundland?
Oh, sure, but there has to be. I mean, you grow up here and you open your eyes and your ears every day, and you're influenced by everything that goes on around you. We're going to have a spot of rain.
Well, that's typical Newfoundland weather, St. John's weather.
There's raining influence.
Ron, could you give me a little introduction to the next song?
Well, the next song is a song that I wrote. I wrote the first part in Union Station in Toronto. It was a fitting place for it. I went to say goodbye to some people, and I just went in and sat down in the coffee shop, and I more or less concocted this situation about two people who go to say goodbye at a train station. And I had been singing it for the longest time, and Glenn Simmons is in the band. Now Glenn is he's more or less a rock and roller in the band, and he doesn't get a chance to do much because the band doesn't do like a lot of rock and roller stuff as such, you know. So we thought it'd be pretty great if he sang this song, and he does a really good job of it.
What's the name of it?
It's called Just Like a Movie Scene.
Thanks, Ron.
It's really not like me. My baby says she's going, says she's leaving today. She had to be free. She had a red dress she never wore. She had her dancing shoes and a raincoat. And we were saying goodbye at the station, just like a movie scene. I played a hometown boy, she played a teenage queen, and she was trying to make it to the end of the line, and I was trying to fake it, I was trying to grin as the train pulled in. I was trying to make it seem like an easy road. I was falling apart inside. Sometimes we can't hide. Someone said all on board. She was a sad face in a window, and I was standing alone at the station, just like a movie scene. I had to stand in a row as a guy who would never get over the pain. The people on the platform have to try to got to notice me crying as the cameras pan to the moving train. Saying it now, I'm feeling left behind. There's something that I should have told you that's been lately on my mind. It's just that I love you, and if this ride gets you through, then I'll be waiting right here at the station, just like a movie scene. I'll be playing the part of a fella who can't wait to see that woman again. So
That was a wonderful job there by Glenn Simmons and the wonderful grand band. Glenn, how did a rock and roller like yourself get involved in the wonderful grand band?
Well, Dennis, I've been trying to get those guys to play rock and roll for a long time now. I guess we made a compromise. I sort of add a little bit of rock and roll to the band, to the jigs, and we're starting to call it rock and reel. I don't know if it's going to catch on.
When you were growing up as a young fella around Trinity Bay, were you exposed to much Newfoundland traditional music?
Well, oddly enough, not really. I sort of got into the rock and roll business at an early age. I was really turned on by the Beatles and that whole thing there, and it sort of became somewhat old-fashioned, too much like everybody else had been up to that point, and the new thing sort of caught on really well in my mind, you know, with the Beatles and the Rolling Stones when they happened along. And I sort of shunned the traditional side of it for a long time.
How do you feel about it now, combining rock music with traditional music?
I really enjoy it. I really like doing it. I feel that it creates a certain amount of excitement to use a lot of bass and drums and sort of some rock riffs and things like that combined with the traditional side of it. And the jigs are great. I never took the time to listen to them before until I joined the wonderful Grand, and I really like them now.
In what direction would you like to see the wonderful grand band go?
Well, I like to see us traveling. I'd like to travel. I like to go throughout the country and sort of try to turn the people on to the style of music we're trying to do and trying to create. We're working on a lot of original stuff, original tunes and original arrangements of the traditional tune. I'd like to do some recording in that vein, you know, using our own stuff and the traditional music sort of rocked up a little bit, if you will.
Wonderful grand band, Feather from Fortune, take one, rolling and recording.
Lots of fishing down at this harbor, lots of fish running around here. Boys and girls are fishing together, 45 from Carbonear. Catch a hold this one, catch a hold that one, swing around this one, swing around she. Dance around this one, dance around that one, diddle on this one, diddle on thee. Sally goes to church every Sunday, not for to sing nor for to hear, but to see the fella from Fortune what was down here fishing last year. Catch a hold this one, catch a hold that one, swing around this one, swing around she. Dance around this one, dance around that one, diddle on this one, diddle on. The boat and eyes are by that sails her, eyes are by that catches a fish and brings her home to lies her. Hip your partner Sally Tippo, hip your partner Sally Brown, over Willingate Morton's Harbour, all around the circle. I took Liza to a dance in faith, but she could travel. Every step that she could take was up to her knees in gravel. Hip your partner Sally Tippo, hip your partner Sally Brown, over Willingate Morton's Harbour, all around the circle. The fella from Fortune, what was down here fishing last year? Catch a hold this one, catch a hold that one, swing around this one, swing around she. Dance around this one, dance around that one, diddle on this one, diddle on me.
Great fiddling there, Kelly. Where did you get that one?
That's an Irish tune, Dennis, called Drowsy Maggie. The band does a few Irish tunes, but mostly we do Newfoundland tunes that I've collected from around the island. Now, there's not to make a big distinction between Newfoundland and Irish tunes because they're very similar, but some of these tunes are actually unique to the province. Emile Benoit, who was a French Newfoundlander, he's got some tunes that I have never heard anywhere else, and the band does several of those. And also Rufus Ginchard has a very unique style and very unique tunes that I don't think you'd really hear. It's kind of a blend of, over the years, you know, of Scottish and French and Irish influences, and the tunes sort of have developed, I think.
What about Labrador? Have you collected up there as well?
Yes, including Newfoundland and Labrador as the one thing. I've been up to Labrador this summer and actually found an old fella, he's over 80, I think. No one knows exactly how old he is, Little Joe Palisher, and he's Inuit. He's a full-blooded Eskimo, and he plays the fiddle, and he's got some old tunes.
How many tunes do you reckon you've collected?
I guess about 400 or 500, Dennis, and I intend to publish the collection in book form.
Great.
When I've travelled everywhere. I still haven't been to the south coast of Newfoundland. I hope to get there before the winter sets in. And over the winter I'll be working on getting all the tunes written out, and this stuff should be ready to be published, I guess.
Get some more new tunes for the wonderful grand band.
That's right, yeah.
Thanks a million and good luck to yourself, and keep up the good music with the wonderful grand band.
Thank you, Dennis.